I always say that a film is written 3 times. It's written once on film, once on paper, and once in the editing room.
So to get the ledger, one of us needs to enter the Taurus and change the security profile so that the other one can access the computer without being caught. That's the only way.
That's the only way.
The editor is the first person on the planet to see the film start to come together. Before I get involved, there is just footage, just shots, just dailies of close-ups and medium shots and wide shots of actors doing wonderful work. But until you start cutting the sequences, you don't have a movie to watch. Chris and I developed a good rapport, and he started to trust me very quickly.
He had this enormous enthusiasm. I think what was so great about Eddie was how excited he was to just to be a part of the movie.
We shared a lot of similar sensibilities to how we wanted the story told, how we wanted the camera to move. So occasionally, if he was busy, he would say, "Eddie, can you step onto set and help the guys set up this shot?" We are on the opera set, filming the big opera set piece. It's a very complex sequence. There's a lot of parallel stories going on, and we need to make sure we've got everything. So as soon as the shots come in from the video tap, I import them in here and I start cutting the scene. And that way, after our 10 days of filming, we know we've got everything.
The Vienna Opera House found its way into our story as the result of a decision to shoot a certain sort of action sequence.
It's quite a long sequence. It's 18 minutes or so. As Ethan discovers things, the audience is seeing it through his eyes. So they're putting the puzzle together as Ethan is putting the puzzle together.
Am I correct in assuming that is the Chancellor of Austria? Did you know he was going to be here?
No.
Right.
On these big movies, it's a key skill of the editor. It's very important that you are the first line of defense for the story in terms of getting the shots before they strike the set, before the actors are wrapped, before the props are sent back. You have to watch the footage and say straight away, we need this shot, we need this shot, we need this shot. And the production manager won't necessarily want to hear that because it's a headache for them, but it is crucial for the story, and if you don't get it, you're going to be coming back in 4 or 5 months and trying to get the cast back, and you're going to have to shoot it then.
The sort of challenge of shooting such a complex scene with 3 different story threads all happening concurrently, where we've got action taking place on the streets outside, in the auditorium, in front of house, backstage, in the trestles high above, just necessitated many, many different locations, many, many different days of filming.
They broke it down with the visual effects crew and the production designer and said, we can build this in London, we can do this with green screen. These are the things we really need to get here that we can't get anywhere else. And some of those include, the shots on the stairway, shots on the roof, shots of the entire seating gallery in the opera hall.
All that stuff came in, and I was refining the scene as we went along and trying to make sure that all the parallel stories made sense and that the music of the opera worked and what was going on stage. I mean, it was a massive, massive jigsaw puzzle. We thought the film was coming out in December, and then in about February, we discovered it was coming out in July. So we had 5 or 6 months taken off our post-production schedule, which was quite daunting.
David Vickery, who is in charge of our visual effects on this movie, has done a Herculean job.
When we came back to London, we rebuilt the whole stage and a couple of the boxes in the side of the auditorium. But then there are also other sections of the story which have Benji in the lighting booth, which sees the auditorium and the stage, and the trestles. So there are sort of 5 or 6 different pieces of elements that we need to film for every single camera that goes inside that. So you can see why we spent weeks and weeks filming it in many different spaces.
I think there are always massive challenges with these films. The opera sequence seemed like almost insurmountable at points.
What I love about working with Eddie is his incredible attention to detail and his relentless refusal to compromise, which enables me to sit back from time to time and be the good guy.
Chris and I worked on it intensely, and I mean literally shot by shot. We'd go through, we would find out how to make the fight exciting and how to make the comedy work of Benji causing the lifts to go up and down, and all that timing you know, to try and make sure the audience understood the cause and effect of that. You just put one foot in front of the other. You slowly climb up the mountain, and slowly you get a better and better view of the sequence, and you can work on it, and you work on it.
Chris has got a really specific ear for sound. He's got a real passion for it, as does Eddie Hamilton, the editor.
We want to be able to mix the film in surround sound and place the opera correctly within the sound field based on where the action is taking place. If we're up in the rafters, we want the opera to sound distant. If we're right down on stage, we want it to sound like it's all around you. If we're back in the lighting booth, we want it to sound a little bit muffled or like it's coming through speakers.
Ethan, do you copy? The direction of that piece and the detail and the amount of things that are going on mixed with this beautiful music, to me, it's just delightful, and it's just enormously entertaining and very elegant.
Eventually you get the scene that you see in the film that just seems to work. And everyone's like, well, it was fine, it works, it's great. But you know, it's been many hours of really hard work, slowly figuring it out and refining it and refining it and refining it.
We were shooting it on day 1, and we were shooting it on day 117.
We're doing this on pretty much almost the last day of the shoot, because this stuff was shot about a month ago, so we've been through it, we know what we need. We can go in and get some really nice close-ups to help the scene.
We'll be working on this movie until literally 10 days before it comes out in theatres, you know, and we'll be asking ourselves, can it be better? Can it be more exciting? Can it be funnier? Can it be a better experience for the audience? You know, that's what we care about.
Eddie's just great at really driving the crew, but at the same time really keeping up morale, and he's been invaluable to me.
Get in! Go, go, go!
When I look at a scene like that and I see it cut together the way it has, I feel very proud, not just of myself, I feel for us. It epitomizes what movie making is to me.